They laughed, didn't they? They watched as you struggled, as you fell apart piece by piece. They poked, they prodded, they toyed with you like a cat playing with a dying mouse. You were just a joke to them, something fragile, something to be stepped on, something that would never fight back. They saw your kindness as weakness, your silence as fear, your pain as entertainment. And they thought they won. They thought they had you figured out. But the funny thing about pushing someone too far, you never really know what's waiting on the other side. Oh, but you know now, don't you? You know what happens when you're broken too many times. You know what it feels like when every piece of you has been shattered, every part of you burned to ash. And in that darkness, in that silence, something changed. You didn't die, you transformed. They thought they were breaking you, but all they did was strip away the mask. The polite version of you, gone. The obedient, harmless version, dead. Now, all that's left is the truth. And the truth is, you were never weak. You were just waiting. They thought you would disappear, thought you would crumble under their weight. But here's the joke, they weren't destroying you. No, no, no. They were building something else entirely. With every betrayal, every whisper behind your back, every scar they left on your soul, they were feeding the fire inside you. A fire that doesn't beg for justice. A fire that doesn't cry out for fairness. No, no, no. This fire, it only knows one thing: destruction. The kind of destruction they never saw coming. And now, now they're nervous, aren't they? They don't laugh as loudly anymore. They don't push quite as hard. Something about you is different. You don't react the way you used to. You don't shrink away. You don't look at them with those pleading, desperate eyes anymore. No, now they see something else, something colder, something that doesn't flinch, doesn't hesitate, doesn't fear. And that scares them, because they can't control what they don't understand. And that's the best part, isn't it? The fear. Oh, how delicious fear is when it's in their eyes. They used to throw their words at you like knives, expecting you to bleed. But now, those same words just bounce off, useless, pathetic. They see it now, the thing they tried to kill. It never died. It just evolved. And now it's staring them right in the face. You see, people like them, they love to push, love to test, love to see how far they can go. But they never think about what happens when they go too far. They never stop to wonder what happens when the person they're tormenting stops caring, stops feeling, stops playing by their rules. And when that happens, it's no longer a game, is it? Because now, you're the one pulling the strings. And that's the punchline. The same people who once mocked you, belittled you, tore you down, they never imagined a world where you didn't need their approval, where you didn't crave their validation. But that world, that's the one you live in now. You don't need them anymore. But oh, how they need you. And that eats them alive. Now they whisper when they see you. Now they avoid your gaze. Now they feel that creeping, suffocating feeling deep in their stomach. The feeling of knowing they messed up. Because you're not the same person they used to control. You're something else. Something they can't stop. Something they never should have awakened. And the best part, the absolute best part, you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to seek revenge. You don't have to chase them down. No. You just have to exist. Because now, every moment they see you, every second they remember what they did, they live in fear of the monster they created. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. Oh, but don't you see? This isn't about revenge. No, no, no. Revenge is too simple, too predictable. They expect anger. They expect an outburst. They expect you to fall into their little game. But that's the thing about monsters. We don't play by their rules. See, people like them, they live in a world where they hold the power. They get to decide who suffers, who's worthy, who's strong, who's weak. But what happens when the weak refuse to stay weak? What happens when the prey refuses to run? That's when the game changes. That's when the hunters realize they were never hunters at all, just cowards hiding behind their illusions of control. And now they have to face what they created. You don't need to scream. You don't need to lash out. No, your silence is enough. Because silence, that terrifies them. They don't hear your pain anymore. They don't see you desperate for their approval. They see someone they can't manipulate, someone they can't break, someone they don't recognize anymore. And that unsettles them. Because deep down, they know they can't hurt what doesn't feel pain anymore. And that's the true horror, isn't it? Not that you became the monster, no. The real horror, they can't undo what they've done. They can't go back in time and take back their words, their cruelty, their lies. They can't unmake the thing they've built. You see, they thought they were stripping you down, making you less, making you nothing. But all along, they were just waking up something far worse. Now, they see the truth. They were never the strong ones. They needed their pack, their audience, their little games to feel powerful. But you stand alone now. You don't need their approval, their validation, their permission. And that makes you unstoppable. They will try, of course. Oh, they'll try to pretend nothing has changed. They'll whisper about you, throw little jabs, test you just to see if the old version of you is still in there, still waiting to crawl back and beg. But you won't. You can't. That version of you, it's gone. And now they have to live with what's left. A version of you that doesn't care, that doesn't flinch, that doesn't need them anymore. A version of you that never needed them to begin with. That's the thing about monsters, you see. We don't chase, we don't beg, we don't kneel. We just stand and we watch, and we let them realize this was never a game. It was a lesson, one they'll never forget. So let them talk. Let them pretend they're still in control. Let them lie to themselves. Because you already know how this story ends.